Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen, your host. This is Money Matters. In this channel, we talk about money, finance, how to grow your money, how to invest your money, how to make money work hard for you. Guys, consider subscribing. If you haven't yet already, give me a thumbs up. Really helps out the channel, pushes my channel to more and more people. I have over 5,600 subscribers now, pushing on 6,000. So appreciate you guys very, very much. So let's get started. We're going to talk about GreenPower Motors. I had this comment, Jude. He wanted an update on GreenPower Motors. And so I said that I will be doing this video. They have now been listed on the NASDAQ. They did the 7-1 reverse stock split. They raised a lot of money. They also reported their fiscal year 2020. I think it's August 31st they reported. So we're going to talk about all that. But make sure you stay till the end because I'm going to show you my cost basis. I'm going to show you how much that I bought today. So I've been buying more shares of GreenPower. Today was a bloodbath day. People were selling, and that's when I like to go in and scoop up some shares, bring down my cost basis. So whenever the market is red, when people are selling, that is when I'm buying because I'm a long-term investor, guys. I'm not a trader. I don't, buy and sell. I like to buy when it's cheap, and then I hold on to them, and then I sell, way in the future. So that's my model. That's what I'm doing. So that's why I'm buying. I'm buying when it's low. So also stay tuned to the end. There's two other stocks that I'm going to touch upon. There's just not enough time during the day to make it 3 videos. So I'm going to quickly touch about 2 other stocks at the end. It's going to be Desktop Metal and a Desktop Metal with Chamath Palihapitiya backing it is just very, very interesting, and I think it's going to be a massive market. 3D printing metal. So the other one is going to be Quantum Scape. This was just announced today. They are going public via KCAC, Kensington Capital. They are making EV batteries, but specifically solid state EV batteries, and that's just the next generation of EV batteries. It's the holy grail of batteries. So we're going to talk about that briefly. It's being backed by VW and Bill Gates. But let's get started with this GreenPower Motors. So they had a IPO, as you all know, being publicly listed in the United States in the NASDAQ under GP. So they had a public offering of $20 per share, and they raised $37 million. So they really needed that $37 million. Before they only had, I think, $300,000 or $400,000 in cash. So this is a massive cash infusion for them to fund their growth. So just on a side note, here's a SEC report. The company also sold $500,000 worth of shares to a private placement subscriber, company owned by GreenPower Executive Chairman, Chief Executive Officer Fraser Atkinson for $20. So basically, the CEO, Fraser Atkinson, during this IPO, he also bought $500,000 worth of GreenPower shares, and he didn't pay a discount. He didn't get it for cheap. He paid $20 per share, pretty much the same price that it was offered to the public. So a lot of people ask, what is a good price for GreenPower Motors? Well, $20 or under, in my opinion. The CEO paid $20 per share for his shares, $500,000 worth of shares. So if he's paying $20 and you could get it under $20, that is definitely a good price to get in. So today it was like down to $14 and change. So definitely a good price to get in at $14 and change, and that's what I've been doing, bringing down my cost basis. So it also shows that he believes in the company, and he's fine with paying $20 because I think he knows that this company is going to be worth a lot more in the coming few months or coming few years. So anyways, again, so here is SEC filing for that 25,000 shares, $20 per share to Coco Financial, which is Fraser Atkinson's other company. So here we go. First quarter 2021 fiscal results. They reported $2.27 million of revenue. That was actually down from $2.4 million same quarter last year. And so 2.27 was about 27.2% of gross profit. And so, I think that number is really, really good, considering last year there was no illness situation, and now there is. For them to do $2.27 million during this whole situation, I think it's fantastic. So they also delivered 18 EV stars to Green Commuter. So Green Commuter also ordered additional 100 EV stars. So that says something. They had their initial 18 orders, and they upped it to additional 100 orders. So they are obviously happy with their vehicles. They also received orders for 10 all-electric Beast school buses, and they're also working on autonomous driving with Perron Robotics. So on the bottom here, GreenPower recorded revenues. It was 2.27 million. Again, the gross profit. So the gross profit of that was 618,000. So there it is. 618,000 was their gross profit. A little bit down from last year same time. And again, the illness situation wasn't going on last year, so for them to post these numbers are pretty good. So here is their cash. So they had $310,000 June 30th, 2020, and now they just got that massive cash infusion, $37 million. So definitely a plus. Here is their revenue results for the past 3 years. You see this nice growth: 3.5 million in 2018, 6.0 million in 2019, and 13.5 million in 2020. So you notice that they have more than doubled their growth from 2019 to 2020, 6 million to roughly 13.5 million. But they are able to still maintain that 30% gross profit. All right, so next slide, I want to talk about why they have a competitive advantage when it comes to sales in the United States. So they are Altoona certified. So Altoona is a series of tests done by the FTA, Federal Transportation Administration. And it takes a long time to get these tests done and under your belt. So they have all these tests. Also, they are by U.S. compliant, so they could sell to the United States market, being funded by government money. So you have to have these two things in order to get some FTA money, Federal Transportation Administration money. So Altoona testing and by U.S. compliant. So they are the only company that sells these transit buses. They're called like Class 4 vehicles that are EV. They're the only company that's selling EV, so from the ground up, 100% EV, not modified EV. There are vehicles that are combustion engine and they've been modified to be EVs. So I'm talking about the only EV, completely EV from the ground up player that's selling Class 4 vehicles that are Altoona certified and by US by compliant. So they have all 7 tests of the Altoona testing from the FTA, Federal Transportation Administration, and they are by US compliant. So what does that mean? It means the FTA will subsidize up to 80% of the purchase price of the vehicle that are Buy America compliant and Altoona tested. So that's massive. 80% of the vehicle could be subsidized from the FTA, Federal Transportation Administration. So again, no other company, no other 100% EV vehicle has these 2 certifications. All right, next very, very important thing that I want to touch upon. I'm going to play you a clip from their conference call. So just listen to the clip real quick.
Our Buy America compliant domestic production capability, we expect to double this from the current 15 EV stars a month to 80 by the end of this calendar year. Combined with our contract manufacturing partners of 50 additional EV stars and 100 cabin chassis per month by the end of this calendar year, this will give us production capacity well north of $200 million at current prices.
All right, guys, so what he was just talking about is in this slide I'm going to show you. So Buy America compliant domestic production capability doubles from 15 EV stars per month to 30 EV stars by the end of this year. Contract manufacturing partners are also capable of producing 50 additional EV stars and 100 cabin chassis units per month by the end of this calendar year. So you add that all up, and that is roughly $200 million. All right, guys, so that's pretty much my update. They are in a much stronger position than they were 2 weeks ago. They have a whole lot more cash, more than $37 million of cash now. They're ramping up their production. They're going to be able to double their production of US compliant, Buy American compliant EV stars by the end of this year. So they're going to double their capacity for EV stars. And they're just flush with cash now, and so they are, like I said, in a much stronger position. So if you're interested in this company when it was 2 weeks ago when it was like $2, $1 or $2, now they're trading at $14, so that's about equivalent to $2 and change. I definitely was buying today, so this is my portfolio. I was buying pretty much at multiple price points today. I spent $193, $119, $43. Previous to this, on September 1st, about $181, $84, $85, $91. So I'm just trying to bring down my cost basis because this is a strong EV play in my opinion. They are producing vehicles already, they are selling vehicles already, and that's a lot to say for an EV vehicle company that's actually selling vehicles currently today in 2020. So This is my position. I have roughly 56 shares right now, cost basis of 1678, and I'm currently down roughly 14%. So that is wrapping up my GreenPower motors. So hope you found value in that. So we're going to talk about those two other stocks real quick. I'm going to make a full video about these two other stocks when I get some time. I just don't have enough time to crunch out two more videos, but I just need to talk about it because I think these are going to be massive, massive opportunities. So first one is Quantum Scape. This was just announced today. It's being backed by Bill Gates. It is a SPAC is going to be KCAC, going to bring Quantum Scape public. It's also backed by Volkswagen. So again, they're making EV batteries, solid state EV batteries. That's a next generation EV battery. So what Tesla's doing now, basically with Maxwell Technologies, they're making dry battery electrode. So it's just a different way of manufacturing the same battery. But now when you get to solid state battery, you're getting rid of all the liquid in the battery. The battery is going to be completely solid. It's going to be a solid chemistry, and therefore, number one, it's much safer because there could be no leakage, no explosion, no fires, nothing like that. Also, the energy is much more dense. Energy dense, more energy in a battery, less weight, more batteries you can produce. So that's going to be the next generation, and the holy grail of EV batteries. You can also charge much, much faster. You could charge in roughly 15 minutes. You could get a 0 to 80% charge in roughly 15 minutes. So that's probably more than double current charge rates. So it's going to be massive. Again, backed by Bill Gates and Volkswagen. I'm looking for a pullback on this one. I think it ran up to 80%. It was up 80% today. I'm looking for a pullback. I'll be keeping my eye on this one. The only thing that I have to say is that if you get into this one as a long-term investor, as a day trader, you could make massive, people that got into it this early this morning, it went up 80% today. So day traders, you could get in and out of this one and make a decent amount of money, but I'm not a day trader. I am a long-term investor, so I want to wait for a pullback. I want to get into this and hold it. But the thing is, you need to hold this for a while because solid state batteries are not going to come out, this year, next year, or the year after that. It's probably going to be maybe 3 to 5 years before a viable solid state battery is able to be mass produced, for an EV vehicle. They do have solid state batteries today. That technology is proven, and they do have that today. But the solid state batteries are very, very expensive, and they're usually used for medical purposes. Think about pacemakers. They're used in pacemakers because you don't want a battery in your pacemaker to be up in 2-3 years, or so. That's what they're used for. Things like that. A lot of medical devices. So I think pacemakers last roughly 5 to 7 years. They're very, very small batteries. Very, very small battery. The size of a pacemaker is about this big. So imagine the size of the battery is probably just a fraction of that, and it could last 5 to 7 years. So that kind of have a visualization of how much energy dense a solid state battery is. So that's KCAC. The next one I want to talk about is Desktop Metal. TRNE Trine, they are taking Desktop Metal public. And I think this one is going to be massive. Also, I talked about this one in my live stream, I think yesterday or the day before. And what I said about this one is it's going to be massive because not because of their printers, not because of their technology, but because of their proprietary cartridges. So think about it. When you buy a printer now, like an inkjet printer, a printer is like, what, $50, $60, but the ink itself is like $60 itself, right? That goes for a lot of industries. I personally work in a laboratory setting, and we have machines that run laboratory tests and things of that sort. And so I see this all the time where the printers, sorry, not the printers, but the machine itself is probably $300, $400, $500,000, and that is nothing compared to how much you spend over the lifetime of that machine with their proprietary cartridges, with their reagents and things like that. So this is what I'm talking about. So these are the hot swappable media cartridges that Desktop Metal uses. So this has the media, the media that the printer uses to make the 3D print, the metal 3D print. And so this is designed to be user-friendly. You basically pop in the cartridge and press start, and it makes your 3D prototype. So that's where the cash cow, that's the cash cow of this company. This hot swappable media that's proprietary to to the device. And I said this, I think 2 or 3 nights ago, or whenever I did that live stream. And I didn't know this, but Chamath Palihapitiya, he also kind of said this in a tweet, and I didn't even know he said this. So this came to my thought just immediately before I even know he said this. But he is a backer. He is a PIPE investor. I think he's pumping $275 million as a PIPE investor into this company. So if Chamath Palihapitiya is interested in this company, it's definitely a company to at least keep your eye out on. So here is his tweet. So basically, it's a whole thread. So he's he's funding the PIPE, $275 billion in this leader in manufacturing 2.0. So manufacturing 2.0 basically is just 3D printing. He has this full page of why he's investing. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description to his tweet here. But look on the second to last tweet there. So he talks about this. Overtime desktop metals mode will be to sell the razor blades, cartridges, consumables versus the razors, the printers. So exactly what I'm saying. Selling those cartridges, that's going to be the cash cow. So it's not one that I'm currently invested in, but I am keeping my eye out. I'm watching for any dips, and if it gets to an interesting price point, I think under $14, under $13 definitely is a good price point. So that's my video, guys. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Hope you found some value in my video. Sorry it's a little bit long, but I just needed to cover these two really, I think going to be really hot stocks. So thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Catch you in the next one. Peace.